So HasCon is coming up. Um, we had like very little information that was spattered and given to us over the 6+ months since its first announcement. A lot of people being on the fence about if they were going to go or not. Some people waiting for when we would have some kind of exclusive announced. Well, we have exclusives, and we have 3 of them announced. And we're going to go through these one at a time just quickly and just give our opinions on them and stuff like that. So the first one that they showed us was this Arcee figure using the Titans Return Blurr mold.
Yep, yep.
And this Arcee comes in a very special packaging, and it comes with a headmaster of what is clearly supposed to be Daniel in his exosuit, and it also comes with a extra headmaster of Ultra Magnus, and supposedly according to its description, that headmaster is going to be made of die-cast metal.
No way.
Yeah. The Daniel headmaster, because they couldn't get the rights to the name Daniel, and I actually went through this process too when doing stuff with licensing with Hasbro. They did something I didn't think of. Just do the name backwards. So RC comes with the Titan Master Leinad, which I used to always joke about as a kid that my name backwards means to have sex with your testicles. So I hope they didn't catch that. But so she comes with Leinad. Now, obviously, for people who don't know, and for people who've been screaming now at this point at the podcast, going, "What this is?" This is supposed to be kind of a throwback to the original Season 4 G1 America RC that was a headmaster. And there was supposed to be a RC headmaster toy back in the day that was going to be a repaint of the old Chrome Dome toy, but it never happened. And I mean, there's some, images in the Transformers Generations guidebook of it, and it looks terrible, to be honest. I mean, I'm kind of glad that wasn't our first RC toy, but I mean, this is a crack at it. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, I kind of have mixed feelings about it. I mean, it kind of looks like RC's original car design by using blurs, but it still misses some kind of cues here and there. Personally, I don't know. It works in some areas. It doesn't work in others.
I find it's all right in the robot mode. The alt mode, I don't think it's that bad personally.
Yeah, well, see, it's funny, and that's why the reason why I'm hesitant to say it is because a lot of stuff that exists in RC's original car mode, like the Fluoro Deary '86 movie / season 3 car design, a lot of like the little details about that car mode are present in Blur's car mode. The little antenna at the back, for
Yep.
instance, little things like that. The same way the shoulders are for the front. That's more so just due to the grouping of those designs, including Hot Rod in there and Cup, with when Fluoro Dury was doing those season 3 characters and having that similar Cybertronian futuristic car look. So it's kind of just an incidental accident that there's similarities there that work. But I mean, it's very hard to ignore that it's just a pink blur. I mean, I don't mind the way the head looks.
The head looks very nice.
The head is pretty good. A lot of people, I remember when the Hot Rod Titan Master came out, a lot of people were rumoring, going, "Oh, maybe they'll just use Hot Rod's head and say it's RC."
Meh.
And I was like, you know what? That's crazy enough to work. Because you paint it with some lipstick and it might actually be doable. But it looks like they clearly did a new head sculpt here. I mean, the Daniel is a complete new one. So, I mean, with the exosuit and stuff. So clearly the face is new too. Because that's one thing people have to realize with Titan Masters is they're molded in 2 parts, where you have the actual robot itself is one mold on the tree, which is usually a singular color. And then they have a screw through the stomach, which then makes the face, and the face is on a completely separate tree of mold.
Right.
So that's where you can mix and swap robot bodies with the robot heads. And when I mean robot bodies, I mean the Titan Master itself, the little robot. So you could attach any kind of the faces onto the little bodies, and any mixing and matching. There's no rule to that when it comes to making the toys, that certain heads have to go with certain little bodies. So it looks really good, and it works. The Ultra Magnus, I've yet to see a photo of what the actual head itself of the Ultra Magnus looks like. We've only seen, I think, just the robot itself, like the little robot itself of the Titan Master.
Right.
The colors that they use is obviously based off of a G1 Ultra Magnus with the blue mouthpiece and the red eyes and the blue accent on the crest of the forehead. So, and supposedly that one's going to be all die cast. That's what I was reading here. Is it's going to be all die cast, and it comes in a fancy little box that unfolds and stuff, and with some nice.
That's pretty interesting how the whole box just kind of collapses out.
Yeah, it looks like a nice little box, and again, I
don't know if that's just like how the final box is, or if it's just they do that just to show off everything.
Yeah, for the image, perhaps. Yeah. And this is going to be being sold for $24.99, which, to be honest, is pretty good price.
Surprising.
I'm very surprised how cheap this is, because maybe I'm just so used to BotCon exclusives, which are always a little more pricey. And because it's HasCon and it's Hasbro directly through themselves, so hey, if it's Hasbro directly, then they could make it whatever they want, But it's very cheap. I mean, if it's true that the extra Headmaster the extra Titan Master is die cast, then I mean, that is right on the line of what it would cost if it was, say, a retail item. Because if, like, in Canada, a deluxe is, God, what are they, $19.99 right now?
Yeah.
And then you add to the fact that if we had a deluxe that was $19.99 and then it was packaged with an extra die-cast Titan Master, which, I mean, I'm just reminded of the standalone Titan Master stuff that we have in Canada that's $7.99, that comes with the little vehicle and it's not die-cast. I mean, that sounds about right. I mean, that's right on the nose, its value. So $24.99, sign me up. Supposedly, I'm reading places online that this is a early release edition, meaning that this version will be only available at HasCon, and then later on, Arcee standalone without the die-cast Headmaster Ultra Magnus, like just the Arcee alone, will then get a retail release, although there's no confirmation if it's going to be retail on a mass release or just a Target exclusive or a Walgreens exclusive. We don't know yet. But right now, you get it here first, and you're going to get a special box and a special Ultra Magnus with it. Anything you want to touch on with this?
No, not really. Blurr again, and an RC form, not bad. I don't know. I just feel the exoskeleton head of Daniel's a little bit weird. It's just a silver head.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a stretch.
Oh well, because I mean, that helmet was very much a dome.
Also, 2 new guns that didn't come with the Blurr. Forgot to mention that.
The two smaller guns. She's more known to have 2 pistols now.
Yep.
That's her deal now. I'm just looking at the robot form. I feel it's fine.
Yeah, the robot mode. It works, especially like they somehow managed to look at those shoulders.
I feel like
it looks like Arcee with her shoulder pad thingies too that she always had on her back.
I feel like they're trying, like when you look at her chest, they're trying to give her the illusion of boobs by putting the little triangle there.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I could see that.
1 second, I have a Blurr nearby. Let me just double check here.
Yeah, I can't see mine. It's too far away. I don't want to get up. The wire's not that long.
Gotcha. Yep, that's added in. I can see it right here.
There you go. So yeah, they're clearly doing something. I mean, I think that maybe the arm shield is distracting, where you could just plug that off. But it works. It works, and the art that it looks like it was drawn by Marcelo, it works too. I guess it's just that alt mode. But then again, none of us are gonna do it in alt mode anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah.
Yeah, the little antennas changed too from Blurr. Blurr's is more of a it's not a cylinder tube. Mm-hmm. It's more of like a square rectangle thingy. Not a funnel. Anywho, I can't remember my shapes right at the moment. Um,
Reminder: we record always late. So
yeah,
sometimes we sound tired.
and the shield, the front end shield is different, and maybe yeah, and the little tip on the her tip where the headlights are, those are different too. So yeah, they
Yeah,
did a little bit of
they clearly went out of their way to get all those little details that make an RC,
yeah,
so that at least the final product, despite it being on a Blurr skeleton, will still kind of look like an RC. And like I said before, it's a happy coincidence because a lot of Fluoro Deary stuff from '86 had a lot of similarities. So it works out. I mean, even if you look at if you look at his prototype for what Ultra Magnus was supposed to be, which was the Orion Pax design,
mm,
and why so many times Orion Pax and Cup are repaints of each other, because
right.
there's so many similarities in his design. So it's a happy coincidence, but I dig it.
Same here, I dig it.